Hey there, I'm Mrs. Fred, and if you are watching this video, it is probably because you are in my class. So I wanted to take this opportunity to give you a quick view of the art room and to show you around. So let's get going, shall we? We shall. Okay, there's something that you should know about being in my art classes, and that is you're always going to do a great job as long as you try your best, be creative, and problem solve no matter what you do. That is like my art motto. You will see that in every single art lesson that I video, and yeah, it's kind of how we roll in the art room. So let's check out the room. When you come in, you might notice that there are a lot of like colorful globes above each table. These are not only for decoration, but they are to help keep our classroom nice and color-coded and organized. So when you come in, you will know what seat you go to by looking at the table. On the table, your seats are numbered 1 through 5. All tables except for green. The green table only has 3 seats at it. Now, when you know what table color you have, you will also then know what color supply bucket to grab, because I like to keep things nice and organized and color-coded when I can. Okay, next up is our sink area. My sinks are labeled 1, 2, and 3. You can use them at your leisure. I ask that you keep things nice and neat and tidy and wipe up after yourself after you're done using my sinks. Thanks. As we move towards the back of the room, there are a couple of areas near the sink. The first one is the kiln room. My kiln room holds a kiln, which is a really big oven for clay that gets really, really hot. Next up, I have my drying racks. Now my drying racks are organized by hour, so you'll have to look for your hour and see where to put your artwork once you're finished with it. We don't always use the drying racks, but it's really handy to store here when your art is drippy wet. We use things like paint and stuff like that. Okay, this is where the sketchbooks live. So every day when you come into class, you will grab your sketchbook from back here and return it back here. This is where its little home is. So that's where the sketchbooks live. Then we have all of these cupboards and such back here. Now these cupboards are for me to get into, to dish out supplies and stuff as needed, but these are not actually just open for students to grab stuff out of. Speaking of that, this is my huge, humongous paper cutter. This is for Mrs. Fred's use only. Please do not touch the paper cutter. No. So this is my handy dandy early finisher spot. This is where kids can go when they finish their project early and they still have some creative time to work. Back here is my wonderful world of paper. Now, this paper is not up for grabs for everybody. This is what I use for projects, and so I will pass these out as we need them, but there's organized in sort of like this beautiful color arrangement, and we will be using this type of special paper only for special projects. So when it comes to this paper, I'm gonna ask that you keep your hands off of it until I pass it out to you. Okay, so there are a couple of things that you need to check out in my classroom. If you need to borrow a pencil sharpener, please let me know and I will have you sign it out. And the same thing for handheld erasers. These tend to walk off on accident, so I do a little checkout system just so that I know where my stuff is and then I get it back at the end of the hour. Speaking of checkout systems, if you haven't heard yet, I have a very weird way of checking out special supplies in my classroom. Now this special supply list applies to things like Sharpies and other special tools that we might use for certain projects. Now, the way this goes is that you trade me a shoe for Sharpie. Yeah, I know it's weird, but you know what? It's only weird the first time, and if you don't want to do it, then you will need to bring your own Sharpie or borrow from a friend. But what happens is you give me your shoe for the hour, and I loan you a Sharpie, and when it's time to leave, you get your shoe back, and I get my Sharpie back. Yeah. Okay, so in the art room, everybody has a job. You'll see right here, located in the front of the room, these are all the art jobs, and they change every single week, and they go by table number. Now, the thing is, each of you have a number at your seat, and most of the tables are labeled 1 through 5, except for the green table. Sorry, green table, there's only 3 of you at the table, so you'll just have to figure out how to rotate through the jobs on your own. I am very confident that the green table will figure it all out. And in the end, if you can't, I guess it's time for some good old-fashioned rock, paper, scissors. Okay? Now for the infamous no-no board. No trademark characters, no thought bubbles or conversation bubbles, no paper airplanes or giving up, please no drug, tobacco or alcohol reference, lollipop or cloud trees, no sexual content, no smiley sun corners, no copying other work, no stick people, no violence related art, and no words. That's it. Okay, so that is basically the mini tour of the art room. We will get to know this room a lot better throughout the trimester, but I just want to tell you I am so happy you're here and I cannot wait to see what you create. So let's get going with class.